Hi, my name is Rich. I use the he, him pronouns, and you're watching my YouTube channel where I play amazing tabletop RPGs with friends. This is the Intercontinental Group of Awesome, IGoA, and we're continuing the Maliverse. We'll probably be doing this for the rest of 2020. Not for the rest of the pandemic, because Lord knows how long that's going to go, but for the rest of 2020. We're jumping back to a game that we had played previously, a few sessions, 4 sessions if I remember correctly, called Monster Squad, which is a hack of Monster of the Week, the game from Evil Hat about modern day monster hunters in the vein of Buffy, Hellboy, and of course Supernatural, the TV show. We reskinned it to call it Monster Squad, and we have a bunch of middle schoolers who are going around trying to do those things. A little tougher for you guys, honestly. Granted, this has been the most of the Maliverse monster and villain fighting. I think that the Monster Squad has taken the most lumps in many ways, and it's been pretty fun to watch the pluck and the ingenuity of these characters. So I'm excited to jump back in. It's just going to dip our toe in. It's a Halloween themed session that I have planned for you guys. Unfortunately, Sabine wasn't feeling well, so they won't be joining us, but we do have 4 of our awesome players, and we'll go around the horn and introduce folks in just a moment. But to remind everyone, we do have some safety tools. We have lines and veils. We have lines against sexual assault, sexual violence, torture, harm to children. And when we say children, we're talking about like preteens, that kind of stuff, younger than you. A line against pandemics, as well as slavery. We have veils, which means that this is content we're okay if it exists. We just don't want to shine a light on it. We'll quickly fade to black or cut away from it. And the veils are sexual content, harm to animals, suicide, and graphic gore. And then we have ask first, which means is this content that situationally may be okay, but please check with the table before you introduce it. And again, the ask first is on harm to animals, and sexual content, meaning we're going to ask first before we bring that in. Then we just say it happens, but we don't see it on screen per se. And then we have an ask first on racism. Also, as a reminder, we're playing in the late 90s, late 1990s, just to clarify. And we are set in our IGoA Maliverse hometown of Beachwood, California, which we don't think exists. I haven't Googled it. We rolled on 2 tables to come up with the name of the town. Thanks, Teens with Attitude. So there's that. And yeah, again, Monster Squad is really just Monster of the Week, but reskinned. So if you're familiar with that game, it's the Powered by the Apocalypse game where you roll 2d6 and add a stat, and you trigger different moves that have lots of cool results. So with all of that out of the way, let's go around the horn. We're going to go from left to right in our character keeper to introduce our characters and the people who are playing them, of course. So let's start off with Jen. Jen, introduce yourself. Tell us about your character.
Hello there, I am Jen. I use she, her pronouns. I'm playing Bailey Ellington, who also uses she, her pronouns, and she is the naughty kid. So,
Fantastic. Oh,
yep, she's
yes.
done some naughty stuff. She's good at pickpocketing and breaking into things and in general going places and taking things that people don't want her to.
And while we have a kids on bikes theme to the game, Bailey just recently has revealed that she now has a car. So that's been interesting.
Yep.
Awesome. Thank you, Jen. Next is Alex.
Hi, I'm Alex. I use he, him, and I'm playing Franklin Booth, who also uses he, him, and he is the kid reporter. He works for the middle school newspaper and takes it seriously.
And the name of this, do you remember the name of the newspaper? Because we're talking about it being so serious.
I don't remember the name of the newspaper, sorry.
I think it was
good,
the Yeah, I think it was something to do with the fact that you guys are the
Something
chipmunks.
monk, yeah.
The monk. I think it was just called the monk.
Okay, yeah, we'll just go with the monk.
The monk report.
Good. Sorry. I wasn't trying to corner you. I actually thought you remembered. I didn't remember either. So sorry. Oh, I see a note here that you're supposed to take an advance. I don't know if you took care of that.
I don't think I did. I will check to see if I have or not. And yeah, and he is also a conspiracy theorist adjacent, and it gets worse when he's with somebody else that is also.
What?
Yeah.
What are you saying? No, you guys are like rubber and glue. You don't create a very okay, maybe you do. Awesome. Thank you so much, Alex. Next is Jan.
Hi, I'm Jan, he, him pronouns. I will be playing Sebastian Spender, also he, him pronouns. He is the weirdo playbook from the Flake from the original game. He's not borderline conspiracy theorist. He's deep in and been raised to do that by his father. He's second generation conspiracy theorist. Yeah, he goes deep, but he's good with computers, so there's some use to him.
Awesome. Thank you, Jan. And last but certainly not least, Tyler.
Hi there, I'm Tyler, he, him pronouns, and I'm playing Tegan Marsh, who is the searcher. I encountered a psychic event which blasted open my own psychic powers. So I have a bit of a kind of a psychometry sort of thing of feeling an area. I can also sense emotions off of people. And I have my puppy from my brain, Archie, who is my defender and guardian. A Rottweiler that appears psychically to help me. He's visible and can talk.
Not disconcerting at all. He can talk. He can't talk out loud. It's in people's heads. So that's also weird. He does not like Archie snacks. Just saying that. So that we're clear.
Nope, the tears of his enemies.
That's its food. Oh man, there's a particular coffee mug that Jen has that tickles me every time she takes a drink from it, but I haven't seen it recently. Cool. Let's jump in. So, because this is Halloween themed, guess what? This game begins on Halloween. So it is Halloween. It's a Friday. If you go back and look at, had to have been in the late 90s some Halloween that happened on a Friday. That's this one. Your school, the also known as the Chipmunks, the E.H. Beresford Monk Middle School, has decided to allow for this. They've done this for several years in a row. You can wear costumes to school, and pretty much all the kids are excited about that. It's totally cool to be able to wear awesome costumes to school. And yeah. So we'll start off with you guys arriving at school, because I think that's a fun opening scene. Who would like to open up our session by describing their arrival to school and what they are wearing? Maybe not Tyler, because I think he's busting a gut over here.
I mean, I have it. I have Franklin's costume. So
Sweet. Do you ride into school on your bike?
Yeah, I mean,
Nice.
I always ride the bike to school. By the way, I've got a starter session move, but it's not urgent. That could be.
Oh no, let's hit it.
Oh,
Let's
okay,
hit it. You get to go first. So
Okay.
the beginning of each mystery roll plus weird is your minor celebrity, right?
Yes, I put a comment in the chats, but yeah, I imagine he goes on sprees of printing off the school paper, which I think it has on his section, has a photo of him, so people would recognize the name and
Nice.
face. Maybe if they bother to read it and didn't just throw it in the bin, but he delivers it to waiting rooms, at dentists, doctors, takeaway places where people have to sit
Grocery
around,
stores.
grocery
Yeah.
stores, just random houses with his leftovers.
Random house.
Yeah.
Perfect.
What do I have to roll with that? It's weird. Okay, and I have
A minus
minus
one
one.
and weird.
Let's hit that.
Yeah, the horses is coming.
7.
Squeaked by there with that 7. So on us, the minor celebrity on a 7 to 9, hold 1. Spin that hold during your mystery to have someone you meet know of you in a positive light. Maybe they read your articles in the school paper, heard you on the radio, read your zine, public access TV show. So it'll be zine related. I like it. Or school newspaper related. Sorry, zines are for older kids, like broke. So awesome. That is fantastic. So you arrive on your bike, and what do we see?
I've kind of got the I've got the Clark Kent costume. I got a pair of my dad's old glasses. I think I don't actually. Do I wear glasses? I do wear glasses. I do though. I did borrow a pair of my dad's glasses that are a bit more Clark Kent shape.
Oh, okay.
And the prescription is a little bit off mine, but it's close enough. So I may occasionally be squinting.
Do you have yours in like a
Oh yeah, I've got it in my
little
backpack.
glasses case in your backpack?
Yeah.
Nice. Good call.
In case it gets too bad. And I've dressed as Clark Kent. I think I've even though I'm dressed as Clark Kent, I've got the little the Superman swirl, in my hair.
Do you have the Superman like t-shirt underneath?
Superman t-shirt is underneath the shirt,
good.
so you can get there's a little bit of blue showing, so I can do
so good.
it'll be very impressive.
I'm into that. That
on
is
my
really,
middle
really
school
cool.
frame.
And this is late 90s, so I'm gonna like throw this to Jen just to confirm. But is this like electric blue, electric red Superman time? Like when Superman died and then came back and there were like 2 Supermans and that crazy stuff that was going on? Was that late 90s?
I mean, that is 90s, but I don't know what
Death of
point in the
Superman,
90s.
all that stuff. I'm just That
I'm not dressing up as the one who's the mullet with electric.
So that was
powers.
that was a 92 to 93 phenomena.
Okay, so it's way gone. God, I'm old. Okay.
Yeah.
So Death of Superman and then the 2 Supermen, all that stuff is like 6-7 years ago. God, you
also just to throw that out there, nobody gave a rip until he was back. Nobody cares about Steel.
Aww.
No, well, okay, I care a little bit about Steel, but nobody cares about electricity powered Superman.
Yeah, that
bloody nobody.
I think I've only ever read one comic that had him in it for a second, and I think it was a Hitman comic.
That's funny.
Yeah, worthy. Good.
I read the whole like first volume of Steel at Post. Like I kind of liked him.
No, I've read way more stuff with Steel than Electric Superman.
Yeah,
Electric Superman. No,
or like Superboy trying to do some Superman things. I guess people probably kind of cared about that, but
mullet Superman.
Killing Superman was the dumbest thing that DC ever did. I would still get people like wandering into my comic shop in the 2010s being like, isn't he dead?
Wow.
As it turns out, when the only like breaks into the mainstream event that you've done in decades is the death of one of your most iconic characters, and then you don't do it again, it has an impact.
Yeah. Well, sorry for that digression. I
Yep.
apologize. That's all my fault. So, yeah, Franklin, you arrive on your bike, and when you lock up your thing, I imagine you've got one of those like chains with the plastic over it, of a
Yeah.
cool color. And I think it'd be cool if maybe that's when Sebastian comes riding up, because I remember you guys usually arrive about the same time.
All right.
So, what is for our viewing audience? What is Sebastian dressed as?
Sebastian. For viewers of the show, they might recognize that Sebastian is dressed up as Flush Man. Basically,
Oh God, yes.
I mean, I think he's basically wearing a wetsuit wrapped with wet toilet paper, and some red around the eyes and the mouth. And,
Could there be
probably like vampire teeth in as well.
what about just an idea, paper plates with teeth drawn in a circle, just like this?
That's also good. Yes, let's go for that.
There were several different iterations of
Yeah.
Sebastian's wondrous costume. And for anyone who hasn't watched the old Minimum Rage from earlier in the IGoA Mallverse stuff, the Flush Man was one of the monsters that the Minimum Ragers not only fought, but he was immortalized in a zine from Brooke. There was an entire Flush Man issue of the zine. So yeah, later on we found out that Flush Man was part of an entire like race of subterranean dwellers who.
Somebody out there has the Flushman tapes.
It's the Flushman tape. Release the Flushman tapes. Okay, so sorry, Sebastian. How mobile are you in the Flushman costume? I'm just curious.
It's definitely very awkward, and it's like the toilet paper is threatening to fall off every now and then. Holding his costume up. So he's cycling, but he's really like slowly cycling, and you see that he's favoring one leg to not ruin the suit on the other end. And just holding it up and then cycles and goes, hey.
Morning, Sebastian.
Hi.
Flushman?
Yes. Thank you.
Awesome. I can't be the first to recognize it. I mean, it's Flushman.
Yes. Oh, my dad didn't know.
Your parents, man.
Guess he didn't read comics.
Yeah. Too good a cover-up.
And who are you supposed to be?
I do the shirt.
Oh. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. No, the
Yeah.
that I didn't get that, but like the S, I get. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen it mentioned. Cool costume. Yes.
Thanks.
Sorry, I
Scotty,
didn't get right away.
It's like, yo, Soups! You hear Scotty Sharp call out, and Scotty Sharp comes running up, and he's got this like t-shirt on, but it's ripped a little bit, and he's wearing this green makeup. You can see like a green ring around the shirt, right? And he's wearing these purple pants that have been carefully cut along the pant legs, and he's got this real bad wig, with the hair that just like comes down like fingers, really misaligned fingers there. And he says, "Yo, I wonder who's stronger."
Kryptonian versus Gamma Ray. It's Kryptonian.
But I'm the strongest there is.
On Earth.
Okay, maybe. Yeah, maybe. What the hell
cool
are
costume.
you, Sebastian? Are you toilet
Flushman.
paper roll man? Are you Charmin man or something?
Flushman. You don't know
Flushman.
Flushman. See, Franklin knows.
I gave you that zine. Did you not read the zine?
No, yeah, I read it. Yeah. He's totally lying. You're like cut to a stack of zines. They have a little bit of film with dust on them. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, Flushman. That's right. Flushman. No, it wasn't my favorite. But yeah, you look just like him. Was there a picture of Flushman? Franklin, was
There's
there a
an
picture of
artist's
Flushman?
representation.
Right. So just like it. Good job. Good job.
Thank you.
As pointed out in chat, Sebastian has a beginning of each mystery move.
Yes. I get to connect the dots. I look for wider patterns that current events might be part of. And I roll sharp.
Sharp is good. You got 2 sharp. Like
It's
a
still
pair of
just
scissors.
7.
Okay, you get to hold 1. You can spend your hold during the mystery to ask the keeper, that's me, any one of those following questions. So just slip it in whenever.
Holding on to it.
Hang on to it. You're gonna love it. Awesome. So 2 of you, Flushman and Clark Kent, head towards class. And who comes in next? Do you think it's Tegan or Bailey?
I can come in.
All right.
So I ride up and I've got on a black kind of leotard bodysuit, and my face in clown white, and I've kind of put a little sock thing over my head that's black and tied up the 2 things on top of the little yellow flower, and a red skirt, and I'm Dot Mortar from the Animaniacs. But I'll ride up and hop off and, oh, Sebastian, that's awesome. Flushman,
Yeah.
really nice. And Superman, really cool, Franklin.
I like the flower
Minnie
thing.
Mouse, right?
No, not Minnie Mouse. No.
I elbow Sebastian. It's really nice. Animaniacs, right?
And I'm cute.
Oh, it's so good. So good. Let's have our naughty kid, our delinquent, arrive upon the scene now as all the bikes are being parked.
All right. Well, of course, I roll up in. Actually, today I'm not rolling up in my truck. I'm rolling up in my van, which, has some mismatched colored doors and the same sort of stuff. And
Just like 18 van, like a conversion van type deal, or?
Honestly, I don't know what the difference is between a conversion van and a not a conversion van.
That's fair. Okay, so let me ask this question. Do you think that it's the kind of thing that has 2 sets of doors, or does it have one of those like sliding doors on the side?
Probably got the 2 sets of doors because that's going to be something easier and cheaper for the junkyard to source. Kind of makes sense to me. So it's probably one of those guys, and like on the side that doesn't have the double opening doors, there's like some kind of handmade sign taped on that says like Halloween train.
Nice.
And Bailey steps out with her usual backpack, and she's got this this is California.
Mhm.
Haha. All right then. Never mind. I don't have to worry about a jacket to cover up any of the costume. I'm used to Halloweening in Michigan, where it's like, well, it's probably snowing. Screw you. Um,
As I look outside, and it is literally snowing here in Minneapolis.
it's actually snowing here in Denver. Bum 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 bum. Blah.
I mean, it's not snowing in Denmark. That's
Not in Norway.
no.
Though I have a photo from 4 years ago from today that is just this much snow.
Damn.
So have been.
Yeah. All right, but Billy's got like an eye patch, and her hair's always down, but it's still down today. She's got this black shirtless, sleeveless shirt, shirtless sleeve. That was not going to be. That wasn't going to go well. It's got a sleeveless shirt.
Just wear sleeves.
Just wear sleeves. It's the new badass way of wearing clothes. Just sleeves, nothing else. With a snake on it. And like these gray corduroys that have a scale pattern kind of stamped onto them. And then boots. And what's the cheesiest way to have a pretend gun? It's probably like a wooden dowel and 4 other blocks of wood assembled and painted with a little orange tip. And it's like strung around her shoulder. She approaches the group. Hey guys, happy Halloween.
Hiya, Bailey.
Liskin?
Yeah.
Rad.
Oh.
Oh, that's right. Also, she has the watch thing, which is also very junk built, but looks pretty accurate for being made out of trash. It's got the the eagle flip top and all that. It's big and clunky. Let's see. Superman,
Yes.
Flush
thank you.
Man. One of the new cartoons. What they are new. It's Animaniacs, your Dot Warner.
And I was curtsy.
Yes.
Like Escape from LA is coming out.
No,
You
I'm so
good?
excited.
I mean, it's gonna be amazing.
Totally.
Yeah, sure.
You guys want to go trick-or-treating tonight? Because I've got wheels and we can hit more than one neighborhood.
Ooh.
Yeah, but I'll have to meet you because I bet Mom won't let me. She probably wouldn't trust you driving me.
Yeah,
Me and
okay.
Sebastian will come by
My dad
with the
doesn't care.
bikes.
Yeah.
We'll come by with the bikes and then we'll meet up with Bailey.
Yeah. That sounds great.
All right. Cool.
Scotty says, "You look totally hot, Bailey. Snake Bailey. You can shoot me. That'd be cool if you want."
Pretty sure I'd get arrested.
But it's like the apocalypse, so what even are cops? I'm the Hulk.
Dude, you're embarrassing me.
Deep cut.
Yep. So you guys are going out trick-or-treating? Like, I heard that a bunch of people were going to the Coopers. And so the Coopers is the old house that has been abandoned since the 20s. It is, of course, rumored to be haunted. It is, of course, a place where older kids have gone. In fact, I think, Franklin, if we remember, you've got an older sister. I think that,
Yes,
yeah,
I think I do.
yeah, you do. You do. Chandra Booth, and she's at college. We haven't seen her, but she told you about having gone to spend the night at the haunted house. What do you remember of the story that she told you?
I think she would she told about like a hook scraping along the wall, and then she would do that on my bedroom door and then laugh sometimes when she was being the mean older sister. But generally she's nice. Just a little bit of sibling bullying.
And then a couple of years later, when you found out that she lied about having gone to the haunted house, how did you get her back?
Ooh.
You can sit on that if you want to. But I am curious.
I'm thinking maybe like setting up some sort of like with the help of Sebastian, I think setting up some sort of coat hanger with a jacket on and a balloon head face, or I don't know, a mask outside her window at nights, and
that's great.
And like doing like a little tap tap, maybe throwing some little stones so it's like tap 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 against the window.
Awesome.
Spooky voice.
So yeah, Scotty's like, yeah. We're like totally. The cool kids are all going to the haunted house, I think.
Are you going too?
Well, yeah, of course, Tegan.
You're not scared?
I mean, we like hunt monsters and stuff. That's totally what we do. So no. I mean, sure.
I mean, you've not like come with us when we've done that.
You never tell me when you're going. So how can I do that?
I mean, you kind of have to just be vigilant. You never know when the story's going to.
I hang out by my phone every night, man.
How sad.
You guys are like walking now across the the sidewalk and starting.
I've tried ringing, but then your mum says you're running a D&D game and you can't come to the phone.
Well, no, of course not. I need full focus on my DMing. I spend hours on those encounters, man. Priorities.
Are you not going trick-or-treating?
Well, I wasn't thinking about it. Like, I mean, that's for little kids. I'm like 14, dude. He's not 14. He's 13, but he's lying.
Well, I mean, I like candy.
Candy, yeah.
Yeah, who doesn't?
Yeah, it's probably my last year.
You are totally aging out. You look like you're like 20. I'm surprised you aren't drinking.
Gross. I guess I'm old and I'm going to die soon.
Oh, as we get to the walkway to the school, I'll lean down to Archie and, hey, you stay here. Who's a good boy? You're my good boy.
Of course I'm a good boy.
You are a good boy. And I'll give him a big hug.
So you guys head into school, and your principal has like a very Halloween themed, pun laden morning announcements talking about all the treats that are being sold for the PTA and a few of the other clubs, and there's a costume contest, and Franklin, you're like, I guess you have to get in on this because they're going to do an interview with the contest winner. So I think, Franklin, you get assigned that, just like handed down. You're used to big articles. Now you got to do some puff piece about a costume. Ugh. And you are not allowed to compete because you couldn't interview yourself. Yeah.
Okay, Sebastian. What does Halloween make you think of? This isn't a real story. This is
Fleshman.
no. Cool. Bailey,
Yeah.
same.
Halloween makes me think of fun nights out with my friends and telling spooky stories.
Okay, yeah, that'll go in. Yeah. Tegan.
The veil between the worlds growing thin, the possibility of the spirits having a chance to speak with us, and candy, lots of candy.
That's the closer. That's the closer. Nice.
So weird. She's weird, Frank.
He's up.
And you guys, if you remember your first period classes, like you guys end up having to split up a little bit. So yeah, you break off into your morning classes. As I double check my notes here, I believe that American history is for Bailey and Franklin, and Sebastian and David. David's actually out sick. Worst thing, sick on Halloween. Woof.
Poor Davy.
Yeah, the worst Davy. But yeah, Sebastian has math with Mr. Brown. So morning classes, you guys, the first thing that you notice, of course, is all the kids that are dressed up. Big Mike is dressed up as some football player, like a pro football player, because Big Mike. Scotty's the Hulk. Yeah, and you got a bunch of other things. Late 90s, I think there's some like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles stuff going on, because I remember that kind of surged back up again. Some Transformers stuff, some like Princess and like figure skater stuff going on. Surfer dudes who, of course, still have to wear t-shirts and shoes because you're at school. Mr. Brown has he's handing out pumpkin stickers for kids that do well on the math quiz. Mrs. Weatherby actually shifts focus and has you guys actually read some treatises from the Salem witch trials, because it's American history and it's spooky. Yeah, so I'm about to sneeze on a sec.
Big sneeze.
No, it never happened. It's like it's a
Oh.
sneeze tease. It's the worst. You can feel the tickle, and it's gonna happen at some point. And if it happens and I don't mute myself, I'm sorry. I tried.
Yes.
Cool. So I'd like to yes, no,
Yeah. Could I ask what's happening with Mr. Handsome?
Ooh, Mr.
Unless
Handsome,
that's coming up.
your librarian. Oh no, that's a great question. I think Mr. Handsome is coming around with the little wheeled cart with various spooky books that he's offering kids, like, take a book. It's definitely, you need to read that. And he is, what is Mr. Handsome going to, he's dressed with like this cake white makeup with black around his eyes, and he's got some like ponytail thing with super curly hair, and he's wearing these boots that the heels are like this big, and you're not sure, like, this is some kind of 80s metal guy, but like, it looks wild. There's a lot to it. He put in effort to look like Kiss. I'm not sure if late 90s kids would like register that, but when he comes
Bailey
in,
does,
Mrs.
but-
Weathersby's into it. Oh,
but
Bailey's in?
She clocks it, but she also then says, "Killer clowns from outer space."
Sure. Hey, would you like this book? He just like tries to pawn off books on folks as he moves around.
Sure, whatever.
Oh, you shut him down. It's so harsh. So I'd like to skip to the afternoon when you guys all have English class together. It's after lunch. And Mrs. Washington is your teacher. I've got her in the keeper, the middle schooler grown-ups, row 56. And she starts off, she's an English teacher, but boy, she sure does like making you guys write. You write a lot. And she says, "Happy Halloween, everybody. I have a very exciting assignment for everyone. Today it's Halloween themed. And because we're near the end of this period, the grade on this writing assignment is going to be a little more impactful than your previous quizzes. So you've got a chance to make something up or really get ahead, kids. I want you to put your thinking caps on, because what I want is for each of you to write a page talking about what scares you the most. So put on those thinking caps and then write me a page about what scares you the most. Where did it come from? Why does it scare you? Does it scare you more now than when you were younger? Those are the kind of things I want you to think about. Okay? All right, everybody. Grab those pencils, get to work. And then some of the kids are like hunkered over. And as you guys are starting to write, Franklin and Sebastian, you guys notice that not only is Davy not in your class, but you also notice that there are a couple of other kids who are absent. Steph Mayfield, who, let's just say, everyone's thankful when she's in a class because she's lower on the curve, so it kind of lowers everything. Well, folks like Franklin might kill the curve. She's the kind of person that reinforces the curve. And Layla Gutierrez, who Bailey probably recognized, she's not here. She's a member of the Chestnut Street gang. But neither of them are here. The two of them are best buds recently. Like, it just came out of nowhere. Like a couple weeks ago, they just decided they were best friends. You ever seen that? Like that middle school thing of like, you're my soulmate, we're the best, and we hang out all the time, and it's like super obsessive. And they're both absent on Halloween. A little odd. But
I think
yeah.
I'll try and send a little note to Sebastian. Is he sat next to me, or is it? Do I have to navigate some?
Yeah, that's probably fine.
Yeah, little note pass. I scribble something down and hand it to Sebastian. Like, my story sense is tingling. Layla and somebody else.
Kidnapped.
Steph.
Yeah, Steph. Not here today.
Kidnapped is the note you get back.
You get back like another note. ... Abducted? ?
Government. I mean, in the meantime, like the camera swoops over Sebastian's shoulder to the thing he's writing about what you're most scared of, and it's also titled "The Government."
Is Sebastian actually writing he's most scared of the government?
Yeah.
Cool. So like the conspiracies and all that stuff, the government testing on people. And is that what he's actually pretty much one of the scariest things for him?
I mean, yes. I mean, he totally believes that they're reptilian overseers.
Cool. What does Bailey write about? She seems pretty fearless. I'm really curious.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of struggling over here.
What about Tegan?
Tegan is writing about the hospital with all the white walls and the people that watched me, people that wouldn't let me sleep at night, the people who wouldn't let Archie come in.
That's pretty terrifying. And what about Franklin?
I think he's closing on finishing page 2 of this kind of. He's taking it more like a creative writing assignment, and I think he's incorporating like multiple of their adventures into. I don't think he's getting down to the truthfulness of his own fears or anything. He's just
Writing about the awesome adventures your teams have had.
Yeah, and
Mrs. Washington moves around. She looks over your shoulder for a little bit.
I'm like grabbing a third sheet of paper and starting to continue. But
She scans it and says, Franklin, this is a really interesting story, but I don't think it's going to get the best grade.
But it's true. Okay.
I'm not saying the veracity is the problem. You've ignored the assignment entirely. You need to write about what you're most scared of. That's what makes a story like this so heroic, is fighting past what you're scared of, right? So tell me about that.
Okay.
Don't worry, I'm not going to make you read it aloud. It's just for me and you to know.
Okay. I pocket what I've written already and then start staring at the page like.
And then she'll skirt around. And has Bailey, do you have the blank page syndrome?
I have started to phone it in. I am scared of sharks.
And she looks at it and says, huh. Well, I mean, does it come to the beach? That's definitely. Have you seen the movie Jaws? Is that what caused it?
Oh, absolutely.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, the shark like beaches itself on the boat and then eats a guy.
She leans in and says, I don't know if I buy this, Bailey. You're a pretty brave kid. I don't think sharks even bother you. Probably other people, but I don't think you.
I mean, if I was in shark-infested water, I'd be pretty scared.
Sure. That's only logical. You're saying that you're not scared of anything? There's nothing that scares you?
It's not for you.
I sneezed when you answered, so sorry. What did you say?
Oh, okay. Yeah, you didn't hear me. It's not for you.
Okay. And she eases off. And she comes around to Franklin to check on you again.
Yeah, he's been writing about just people not believing him, not taking him serious, just being dismissed.
Oh yeah,
being like the
lack of fame.
Less the lack of fame, just being they're being dismissed. In general, the maybe not getting the every time Chandra comes back from college, it's a big deal, and he worries that he's never going to get that kind of the respect. He sees her being treated as an adult, whereas for some reason he gets treated like he's a kid, and
dang it, and that's the worst.
And just that kind of that feeling of being dismissed.
Nice. So you start writing that, and Mrs. Washington leans over. Oh, this is good. This is really good. I think you found your muse, Franklin. She pats your shoulder and then starts to head to the front. And as she heads to the front of the class, a couple kids start turning theirs in. Big Mike, he slaps his down, and he's written bigger, he's written real big so he could fit a whole page kind of thing. He's like totally within the margins, all that good stuff. And then Big Mike looks outside for a second because he's proud. He like turned it off. He comes back and he does this like, stage whisper of like, the cops are here. And we'll take our mid-game bio break. As sure enough, there is the Beachwood Police Department. There's a car that's pulled up outside in the little circles, near where you guys have walked in. So it's 17 till. We will take a few minutes. Cool, and we're back. So the last thing that happened was that Big Mike announced to the class and then was shushed by Mrs. Washington, hey, the cops are here. And what was it that Franklin's reaction was?
Oh yeah, I was like, scribble, scribble, scribble. Hand the note to Sebastian. And it's like, just says, we have a case. An underlined exclamation mark.
Heck yeah.
Fist bump, baby.
Like probably a drawing of a fist.
Oh yeah.
Around.
With lightning. Then a little shared look and a nod. Yeah.
Soon enough, the door opens up and the principal comes in. Says, "Sorry, kids. Officer Ellers here would like to chat with you guys." And so Officer Ellers comes in and he walks around to the front of the class and he says, "Hey, good afternoon, kids. I'm Officer Ellers. I'm here because we are looking for information about a couple of your classmates, Steph Mayfield and Layla Gutierrez. Is anyone who saw either of those girls last?"
I put a hand up.
Like gasps from some of the kids, and Officer Ellers moves
I
around.
don't put a hand up. I do put a hand up for the GM, but first go to Franklin and then I'll.
Yeah. So I've still got my hand up.
And then there's a moment, and then he says, "Franklin,
What's the timeline of the case?
good question. So earlier today, there was a shoe that washed up on the beach, as well as a Walkman that we've identified belonging to Layla and Steph. So
Have you
Wait,
played
hold
the
on.
tape?
wait, before we play the tape bit, I'm like cutting out of that. We're gonna like go out of like time. This Walkman, this is something that Layla found. She found a Walkman in Bailey's. Like she found a worn down Walkman. Was it just good enough to work, or did you help her recondition it?
Probably had to recondition it. I mean, when something like that goes bad, it's usually because just one or two wires or connections got popped, so you just solder it back in.
Nice. So did you teach Layla how to solder, or was this a thing you did for her?
Yeah, I showed her how to do it while I was doing it for her. Best of both worlds.
So it's done right, and in a pinch, she at least understands the concept. Nice.
Yeah.
And then the shoe that's mentioned, Tegan, you know Steph well enough. Tell us a little bit about, these are her favorite shoes. What do you remember about Steph's shoes? How she made them her own? She like puffy paint on them, or did she like Sharpie marker somewhere, or was it just a particular type of shoe?
I think they're white and pink Nike pumps. And she had, what she made sure to do is that she had injected into where the pump thing is. It's got you'd go squitch, 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 squitch. And
Oh
pump.
man, I remember those. Yeah.
Where it had the clear thing that would go through and you could see in there. She'd injected it with pink, like pink coloring. So as it would pump, you'd get this kind of little pink expansion inside of it.
That's pretty cool. So we'll cut back in. You said, do we know the timeline? Officer Eller says, what we know is that both Layla and Steph told each other's parents that they were spending the night at each other's house. The last that they were seen were by their parents yesterday around supper before they left. And then he points to you. He doesn't know your name, Sebastian.
No,
It must be because
I mean,
Franklin is famous. I mean, that's perfect
mean,
that he doesn't know your name.
It's
right?
also not Sebastian holding up his hand. It's me.
Oh.
Because I have to ask something for Sebastian. Because
you have a question to ask from.
He would never forgive me if I didn't ask you this. But I'm going to ask you about the police officer. Is this person connected to the current events more than they are saying?
Ooh. So is this officer? You get a sense that Officer Ellers is here on a completely legitimate, slightly desperate look for clues for two missing kids.
I mean, if it was just like if I didn't ask this, Sebastian would never have forgiven me. So I had to ask, even though I knew it would probably be nothing. But...
It's good though. I mean, that kind of that level of worry is. I mean, it's Sebastian. So I'm glad that he can forgive you now. Okay, so he says this is a timeline. They were each seen around supper, which was about 6:30. And then they both left ostensibly to go to one or the other's house, but they've disappeared. Anyone who has any information about either girl, please let me know. And if you, yes, Franklin.
Have you ruled out cursed cassette tape?
Yes, we're looking for missing children. This is not a Halloween prank, kids.
Have you checked your basement?
Yes, we have checked both of their houses.
Like your basement.
No. Guys, I know it's Halloween. You may think this is some kind of thing and you're trying to poke fun. We have two sets of parents who are extremely worried about their kids. And I'm here in hopes of finding out legitimate information about your classmates who could be in trouble. Okay? Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to leave my card with Mrs. Washington here. And then I'm just going to wait out in the hallway. I've already spoken to a few other classrooms to see if any kids want to chat with me about anything they might know. All right. Thank you, guys. And we'll take care of this. We're here to protect and to serve. Okay? So don't worry. Anything you can do to help is great, but I'm sure that this will work out in the end. And then he heads to the hallway, and kids are like, oh my God, they're dead. It's definitely Layla.
As everybody's kind of chatting, I'm going to raise my... I need to run to the restroom.
All right, Mrs. Washington says, and she hands you the little hall pass.
And I'm going to go out and head up to the officer. Sir?
He kind of drops down to a knee. Yes?
I don't want to... You know, there's a lot of weird things that happen in Beachwood. A lot of unusual stuff. And I'm trying to trigger my fellow believer.
Ooh. Fellow believer, people understand you've also known strangeness. Bystanders will talk to you about weird things they would not trust another hunter or a mundane official to believe. Nice. Okay, so you're triggering that.
And I mean, I know Steph pretty well. I didn't see her yesterday, but maybe you could tell me a little bit about what happened, and then I can kind of tell you what I might know, and anything I could do to help, I would.
He nods, and then he pulls out a little Polaroid. I know it's a little like not exactly 90s, but I'm doing it. So he pulls out a little Polaroid, and sure enough, it's the Nike pump with the pink and everything, and it's kind of waterlogged. And he says, this was found on the beach. We
That's your
don't know a
favorite.
lot. Yeah. The fact that it's a shoe makes me a little concerned, and that's why I volunteered to come out here and try to talk to all you kids. I'm hoping that it's just a misunderstanding or maybe some kind of prank. Uh, I've heard from one of the other classes that Layla and Steph are given to doing pranks. We're hoping that this is just that.
Did their folks say they were going to the beach?
Folks were completely hoodwinked. That's where, they were lied to. They trusted that each daughter was going to spend the night at the other. It doesn't appear that they had any plans that they expressed to their parents. They had Halloween costumes. So,
Well,
yeah.
I promise I'll get in touch with you if I hear anything at all about it. And
He pulls out like a little, flip pad. He says, and what's your name, young lady?
Tegan Marsh.
Tegan Marsh. Okay, great. Takes down your details. Says, thank you so much. I really appreciate this, Tegan.
Thank you,
He'll
sir.
hand you his card. Like, if you have anything, see anything, hear anything, just give me a call, okay?
Well,
if I'm not here, it'll bounce to the station. They can take a message. Someone will talk to you.
Yes, sir.
Past your shoulder. And you get the vibe that, like, he's not aware of any weird stuff. He's not even, like, thinking on those lines. So.
I don't pull anything particularly big off of that, but they had something in mind if they were both lying to their parents. All right. And I guess I'll slip back in because there's no use reading him. I think he's sincere.
So, is there anything else you guys wanted to do in English class here? Okay, so let's jump to into school. Bell rings, kids all head out. Lots of monsters and ghoulies hanging out in the hallways, talking about what to do next. And yeah, I think Big Mike comes up to you, Franklin. Oh, by the way, Franklin, what was the costume that won for the costume contest?
I'm trying to think of something. I don't think it's like the kind of alien mech, the aliens mech loader thing, but something along that line. Maybe like an Optimus Prime that somebody's,
It actually folds into a little truck.
Right.
Yeah.
Like the kid and
Oh,
their
that's
dad have
awesome.
been
God,
yeah.
for like a year.
Just barely edged out a girl who was dressed like one of the Spice Girls because one of the teachers who was a judge had no idea and just thought she was dressed like a slut.
So yeah, like little kid who's like now, 7 foot high because of all the cardboard boxes and harnesses
nice.
and stuff. Yeah.
So
or it keeps looking like the head's gonna go the whole time. But
nice. So as everything's, you guys are all moving out of class and everything. Big Mike starts walking after you, Franklin. I assume Sebastian, you too, although he avoids you a little bit, Sebastian, because you're crazy. He says, "Hey, Franklin."
What is it, Mike?
You think they're really gone? Like, you think they got snatched or something? Steph and Layla?
I don't have any facts yet, but we'll figure out.
Listen, I didn't want to tell the cops because, cops. But what I heard was that Steph and Layla were going to try to get a bunch of people to go with them to the haunted house. Maybe they went ahead.
They say when they were going.
Like, said they were going tonight. But I guess it's all off now. You need to find him. Steph's cute. We need more cute girls in the world. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I kind of gotta go.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm slightly weird. As I leave, I'm slightly weirded out by Big Mike coming up and chatting to me because, he's a massive dick. So
He is.
it's always weird to have like an actual, not pleasant conversation, but
Your misogyny is making me uncomfortable.
yeah, he wasn't actively a dick to me, which
No, it's awkward. So yeah, he'll take off.
yeah.
Cool. So
Yeah.
if Sebastian, I assume you overheard that. Tegan and Bailey, if you wanted to have eavesdrop, you're totally welcome to have heard it.
I mean, anyone who didn't, I'd be like, man, that was weird. Big Mike, he seemed like worried for another person.
Maybe he's
Other
got a
than
thing
himself?
for her.
Huh.
Well,
Well,
yeah, he did say. Yeah. Anyway, they went to the Cooper place.
really?
Or they were planning to.
It seems like a bad
I mean,
idea.
and that's the Cooper place.
Oh, like doing that for the Halloween thing. So they
Yeah.
probably went ahead to like seed it with something scary that they
Yeah.
knew about. But yeah, the
Yeah, I
kids
mean-
wouldn't.
But their shoe ended up all the way at the beach. I mean,
Yeah,
the
that's
Cooper
weird.
house isn't like on the coast, is it?
I mean, who knows what the pipes and seal lines. And then I kind of shudder. I remember that 80s TV movie about the clown.
Well,
don't
we
know about that.
At least we don't have gators here.
we should
Yes.
go look for them. If we could get something that belongs to Steph or Layla.
Named
Layla.
after the song.
Oh, there we go. I'll remember it now.
All right. Well,
If we could get something of theirs, then I could at least Archie could smell if they went in the house.
all right, cool. Let's make a stop by their lockers.
Yeah.
Do you have a key? Can we get a key?
No.
Oh, yeah.
We need protection. We need detectors. We need to bring some stuff.
Yeah. I need some, I mean, if this is ghosts,
Yeah,
I need to get
exactly.
this on record.
And I need some. I can make an electromagnetic scanner that might be able to detect the presence.
Okay. We meet back here in half an hour. We load up.
Okay.
Bailey, want me to come with you to the locker?
Yeah, please.
All right,
I need cover.
no problem.
Okay.
Franklin is off quite enthusiastically
Yeah.
to gear up.
Well,
He's
since
bringing
Bailey,
everything.
he's getting everything. Just load it all up. We're going to put it in Bailey's car. So Bailey, I don't think we've ever legitimately gotten to use your awesome skeleton key. So I think it absolutely will open the lock here. It's really about, do you get caught? Does anyone who thinks you're being suspicious or know whose locker this really is sees you? Is really all that is needed to figure that out. Does that seem fair? Make sense?
Yeah.
Act under pressure then.
Right.
And it sounds like Tegan's there to be your lookout. So if you want to help out first with Tegan. That is rolling plus cool.
Got a
7.
Cool. An 8.
All right. And 8 means you will give a +1 to Bailey's roll.
Hey, I needed that.
Wow. That was not a great roll for a +3 modifier. But hey, that's cool. So you head over. What does that look like? Because I'm imagining this is one of those, like, 3 this way, you're, one this way, one that way, and you've got a skeleton key, but it's magic. So, like, how does that work? What do we see on screen? Because it works. It's
Mhm.
not the question. I just want to know how you think it works.
Well, I mean, the skeleton key's job is supposed to be to open magic locks, but I get you.
I want your magic key to do a thing for you.
I know. So I think it like literally makes a keyhole in the locker for it to fit into.
That's badass.
And you just go, and it looks like there was a keyhole with some, 90s special effects filters on it.
Yeah, that's totally cool. So here's your hard choice. That's what's going to happen. It'll open up, no problem whatsoever. But you also realize that Scotty Sharp is watching. He's going to know you've done something to... Did you go to Layla or Steph's locker? They're both on row 47 if you need, like, notes.
Oh, I know.
Okay, cool.
It's a coin toss, right? Yeah.
It's Layla.
Makes sense. Especially since you flipped a coin. I'm going to pretend it makes sense. But the coin said.
Yep.
Yeah, so he's going to know that you opened up Layla's locker. Not sure
I'll let it happen.
Yep. Let it happen. Awesome. He just sees it. Nice. Awesome. So you open up her locker and you see, first of all, there is a one of those like white plastic bags from Toys R Us.
Okay.
It's got the Toys R Us thing on it. And you see that there's a receipt and then just like the wrappers for like $30. A lot.
Dang.
$30 worth of stuff that they bought. But it's done in the little, like, not, SKU numbers and everything. But all the receipts are from 2 days ago. And then there's, of course, normal bric-a-brac, that kind of stuff.
Right.
Number of cassette tapes that she would play in her Walkman that she just had thrown in there, books.
Gym clothes?
Yeah, gym clothes. Totally.
Yep, I take the receipt and some socks.
Cool. Yeah.
And
totally.
maybe a folder or something so that I can plausible deniability say that I was picking up her homework for her.
Oh yeah, there you go. It's nice.
I'm going to kind of, as I'm watching over there and Bailey's about to shut the door, I'm gonna give me just a second. I'm gonna kind of reach my hand towards the bag. Did you say there is the bag from Toys R Us, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to attempt to do the sensitive on it.
Ooh.
That's my straight up one. I don't have to act under pressure for that one. Open my brain to psychic environment. It's a weird roll, and I could get some sort of impression off of it.
Okay, cool.
So I'll give it a shot. I got a 2. Or 3.
Oh, that means you get an XP. Good job.
I do, yeah.
On a miss, your brain makes contact with something dangerous.
Oh.
Yeah. And this is Layla's locker. So you reach out, holding that bag, and is it a thing where you like close your eyes, or are you looking? Okay, yeah, like closing your eyes.
I close my eyes and just sort of concentrate.
Close your eyes. You concentrate for a little bit, And then you realize that you're in some room, a very tight room. It's musty here. It's cold. You're shivering and crying, and there's some kind of metal been shoved into your arm, and you can feel the tingling of just losing that sensation across everything past your elbow, and you're just whimpering and rocking yourself because you're so scared and so afraid of making a noise, but it hurts so very much. And then you come out of it.
I think I fall down shaking and whimpering.
Yeah, so Bailey, Tegan just like grabbed the bag, held onto it for a bit, didn't grab it out of your hands, but like took the bag, did a thing in the hallway, and then just kind of keeled over.
Yep. Then yeah, I'll kneel next to her and try to support her and go, whoa, you're okay. You're right here. Tegan, what happened?
It hurts. It hurts. It's in my arm. It's in her arm. It's. And I'll kind of reach up and grab you. They're stuck somewhere. And something bad is happening to them.
Okay, we're gonna find them. It's gonna be okay. All right.
And I mentioned this in chat, but just to say it aloud, you do take one kind of effectively psychic harm.
Epep.
Epep? What? Okay, sorry.
Yep.
Yep. Okay. Thank you.
Gotcha.
We cut to...
I thought it was like AP.
Oh, yeah.
But my harm is healed from last time, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Weeks have passed, so this will be your first harm from a fresh young kid body, so you're good. Also, Franklin's harm. Yeah, Franklin's healed up. You're good. Well, I mean, maybe you still got a scar from all the times you like were defenestrated and like broke your arm and stuff, but you're good.
Oh, his only weakness, getting thrown out of window.
Franklin Booth, defenestrator. Sorry.
It's more like defenestrated, but
that's true. Defenestrated.
That's cool. That's not as cool.
No, it's not quite as cool.
No.
So we'll pick up with Franklin, actually. So you head home on your bike. Are you the kind of kid that like does the kickstand or just like drops the bike near the front door to run up the
I mean, normally, yes, but he's on a case and time is of the essence. So he's
no kickstand.
He ditches the bike.
Ditches the bike.
Kind of door slam open, run up the stairs.
Sweet. And yeah, you run up the stairs, you come into your room. Now, here's the interesting question.
Oh.
Is the rhesus monkey here, or is someone else keeping it this week? Is Rolla here, or?
We'll say yes.
Awesome. You come in your room and your older sister is sitting with Rolla in her lap.
What? Mum didn't say you were back?
Oh, yeah. Yes, I'm just back until like this week. It's no biggie. Wow. When did you get a monkey and how did you slip that past Dad?
How did he slip it? Is this something? Do we think it's something that is secret from?
They saw the monkey, remember? Like they met the monkey, so and they also like it was hurt, and so maybe it's just a thing where they kind of let you keep the monkey.
Well, I mean, it's not here the whole time. It's Mum, Dad said it's fine. It's
It's cool.
You know,
He's really sweet.
yeah, it's,
This should help you be a nicer person for once. That'd be great.
wasn't
It's like
supposed
caring
to.
about someone other than thinking about them being your next big story or whatever.
I help people with my stories, and I'm like awkwardly trying to get things around to like, you know, I'm taking the full kit. I'm taking my Ouija board, my metal detector, my laser microphone, my tape recorder, my Polaroid camera.
What are
And
you doing?
I've got a case.
Oh God.
You never know what you need. I mean, maybe the metal detector I don't need this time, but I don't know. I think the Ouija board is going to be needed.
Let me guess, you're doing something with that Sebastian kid now. Again. He's weird. You actually, I like the time when you found out that they were rotating the milk at the A&W and you got that at the A&P and you got that taken care of. Now you're off talking about government conspiracy. I read your stuff, Franklin. You should be doing real reporting, and now you're grabbing a Ouija board? What is this about?
Come, Shanna, you know this. There's weird stuff here. Come on.
It's Halloween. Have your fun. Whatever. I'm going to be giving away candy with Mom and Dad. Yay.
Is the candy box? Is the stash downstairs?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. I have a mental note to just grab a handful and come back. But I don't know if I'm going to be able to. Case comes first. And as I go down to get the thing, I also like look around the kitchen to make sure I'm alone, and then take my mum's stun gun.
Whoa!
That's how he gets the stun gun when he needs it.
Just into the drawer and snatches it.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, and we see as you're in the kitchen to get the stun gun, we see that there's a bunch of packs of the candy that's in the bowl, but there's also like recently bought cobweb material and some other things that your mom's gonna put up last minute. Your family's evidently not like huge on planning ahead for Halloween activities.
So yeah, I shovel a bit of that into my backpack as well. And I think my backpack I can't zip it up with the Ouija board and metal detector. So there's like a board and a metal detector sticking out. It's all barely held in.
Okay. Cool. So let's jump to Sebastian. What do we see when Sebastian heads home?
Sebastian heads straight into the garage and is going to be screwing around with like an old 80s like boombox, but it's got a second antenna stuck into it, and it's like he's going to try and make a ghost detector basically.
Wow, that's great. Is that a move you're trying to engage?
I'm going to go into my hideout.
That's right. Hideout stuff. That's right. Cool. So when you have space for building or repairing, work out with the keeper how long in your repair construction. Okay, cool. So that's interesting.
I mean, it's probably going to work as well as my tinfoil hats, but
sounds good. Let's say that this works a little bit like magic powers, so you can imbue this device. Does this sound okay?
Yeah, that sounds good.
All right. Roll plus weird, and then based on that, you can add some effects to your doodad.
That's an 8.
Okay, that means you get to choose an effect, and you also get to choose a glitch, and then I will determine how the glitch takes effect whenever you decide to use it.
So, I mean, I'm going to say that the effect is it actually works on. It would detect actual ghosts.
Okay. You feel 100%, and I don't lie, so it detects ghosts. You are
Yes,
able
actual
to
ghosts. If
actual
there's
ghosts,
any,
yeah,
then
you're good. You can detect ghosts with this. What is the glitch?
It's I think like I think it's probably like just the fact of like it's the sound is too soft to, so I need to wear headphones all the time.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are you saying that the effect is weakened then? So you have to wear like headphones to be able to hear it?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Effect is weakened. Sounds all right. Sweet. So we'll cut to maybe Bailey going around with the van to pick kids up. So you pick up Franklin, this like big haul. Go around. Sebastian comes out with some kind of crazy boombox and a headset with like a big AV cable that he's got jacked into it. Where do you guys want to go?
We got to go to the first likely scene of the crime, I guess. We got to go to that haunted house.
Nice.
Or we got to go to the beach. I mean, those are the 2 points of discussion.
Are we
House.
picking me up too?
Oh yeah, of course.
Okay, who's going to go?
Oh, I just kind of
Yeah.
assumed that
I
Tegan was
mean-
already
Oh.
with you. Sorry.
Oh,
Yeah.
I would have had Bailey run me towards home.
Right. You had to make an appearance and then sneak
Yeah.
out kind of deal.
Right, and
Yeah.
I want to pick up a few things of my own. And I probably would have. What's your dad's name, Bailey?
Mr. Ellington.
Well,
Robert?
I probably call him Uncle something because we're
Oh,
family.
right.
Oh, yeah. Uncle Rob.
Uncle Rob. So I probably will tell Mom. Well, I'm going with Bailey, and Uncle Rob's will be around. I'm going, trick or treating, and we'll sneak out. But I'll have grabbed my book of the weirdnesses of our town, and I imagine I have a folder or a section in there for the Cooper house.
Nice. And I love that. And that is definitely got to be a thing. So just before you leave, Tegan, because you gave her an excuse, you're not sneaking out, she grabs you by the shoulders and your mom says, Tegan, do not take any apples. They stick razor blades in the apples.
I've heard of that, Mom, and I don't want any apples.
Okay.
And I'll bring all the candy back so you can look it over first.
Remember that there are nuts and bit of honey. And here, and she like holds your hand and like pushes a rape whistle into your hand. Take this with you if you see any trouble.
Yes, ma'am. And I'll save the Kit Kats for you.
Well, of course. Thank you, honey.
So I'll run out and hop into the van, and I'll have my flashlight, and because it is safe and useful, and Archie will sort of appear as I jump into the van. He'll leap in behind me.
Nice. Sweet. So I'm going to give you like a little bit of reading here, or not give you reading. I'm going to read aloud. The Cooper House.
Box text.
I know we have box text friends.
Ooh.
In 1921, the Cooper family, consisting of Obed, Elizabeth, and their 9-year-old daughter, Alice, moved in to the house. Their life was nice and peaceful up until poor Alice tragically passed away in an accident at the house, after which the family fell apart, leading to Elizabeth taking her own life a year later. By the end of it, Obed was living all alone. He soon became a hermit, and everyone in Beachwood would avoid him, as rumors started going around that he had become a practitioner of the occult in a desperate attempt to contact his family. On All Hallows Eve in 1929, he was seen walking on the beach, dressed in a mysterious black robe and carrying a torch, while at the same time he was chanting in a language was not of this earth. After that, he was never seen again.
And as I finish reading it off, I look over at Sebastian and like, not of this earth.
Of course. That all makes sense.
Well, these are the reports I've collected so far. It seems like something creepy is really there.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Let's go find it. I've got a detector.
Ghost detector?
Yeah.
I have my EMP.
Cool.
And
I brought everything.
And I did see something. When Bailey and I got into the locker, they were in I saw a little room and something stuck into their arm. Her arm. My arm. Into her arm.
Like what?
Piece of metal.
Tracking device, of course.
Made the arm numb.
Maybe that says indoors and not on the beach.
I think you're right, Bailey.
We have to go inside.
Yeah.
I start taking out my metal detector.
And we also found this. And I hand over the receipt to Franklin. 2 days ago, Toys R Us, $30. I think Operation Prank Up the Haunted House was definitely underway.
Does it say what the
It's
purchases
just
were?
numbers.
Yeah, it's a bunch of UPC codes. It doesn't.
But is it multiple things or one thing?
Yes, multiple things.
Okay, yeah.
They bought like a dozen different items.
Yeah. That checks out.
So is it the beach? Is it Toys R Us? Is it the Holiday House? Where is it that we see the van pulling up?
Suggest the house.
Yes. That's definitely where Sebastian would have.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, because a picture a picture is worth 1,000 words. I will show you the picture of the haunted house. Ha ha ha! It's got broken windows. It's obviously from early century, and it's quite it's pretty large. It's got some cool bits going on there, and it is in a area of Beachwood that is not on the beach.
Yep.
Is kind of several miles inland along a neighborhood that as you're going along, you see that there are less and less houses until there's just this long stretch of dirt road that leads up to the house on the hill, because all haunted houses have to be on some kind of hill. That's what makes them haunted, I think. Maybe not. I could be wrong.
Well.
Sweet. So yeah, the haunted house is a 2-story deal.
I'll have Archie smell the gym socks, and I imagine he won't appreciate it. Or maybe he will. He might like that sort of, dogs like stinky things.
They do. This is young girl stinky. You can leave this with me.
Arch, do you smell them having come here?
Mm-hmm.
They did.
He gets out. He's doing that like sniffing around on the ground thing, and he starts padding towards the front door. Right. I'm just gonna start walking that way. Anything you guys are doing as Archie is heading up to the front door?
I'm following.
Underneath.
Yeah.
Good.
I think I'm trying not to be the first one to follow, though.
Yeah.
And I'm definitely up front, probably with the radio thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Before I start to follow, there's a long, kind of narrow, rectangular chest underneath one of the bench seats, and I pop it open and break out the hunting rifle.
Ooh, hoo, hoo, hoo.
Oh,
And, you know,
I hand out
slide in a
walkie-talkies.
couple of rounds of ammunition, put a few more in my pocket.
all right.
There's definitely a little bit of a like nervous side look to the gun from Franklin.
Be careful, Bailey.
Yeah.
Safety's on.
I'll flip on my flashlight and shine it up across.
So there are a couple of things that you guys notice. Your choice if it's just a thing that adds to the oddness and you're not consciously aware of it. But I would imagine that those are, at least a couple of you pick up on the fact that the grounds, there are no plants. There's not even grass here. It's like, and you do not hear sound of animals of any kind. Well, Beachwood is a pretty populated area. There's always some kind of wildlife. And then, of course, that ever-present sound of the power lines is gone. Like, there's no power lines coming up to this house either. So it is eerily quiet. You can't even hear the sound of the surf in the distance here.
Too quiet.
There's a sudden like crackling of an unwrapping sweet as Franklin like nervously pops one into his mouth.
Like everybody looks at Franklin, like stare.
Sorry. And I kind of gestured like hand out a few.
Begrudgingly.
Archie walks up and kind of like, not hard, but just one of those like large dog nudge on door, and it doesn't budge.
Yeah, I introduce it to my friend the crowbar.
Oh yeah, you pull out the crowbar and pop it. It was, you know what? Actually, because Bailey's, this is not her first rodeo. You try the door. It's closed, but it's not locked.
Yeah.
And
All right.
So you don't need to. Yeah.
Yep.
So you open up and
And yeah, before I open up, I'm like, I direct Tegan and I'm like pointing my flashlight this way and indicating she does it that way, and then we open it. What's it inside?
So you step into their living room with a common room. You see that there's an almost rotten couch in front of a small stove. And you see that there's a dusty white sheet over something. Takes a moment to figure out what it is, but when you shine a flashlight on it, you realize it's a spinning wheel. Covered, that white sheet's covered with a film of dust. And I assume everybody kind of moves in at this point. There is a door to what looks like a dining room directly ahead. Another open area to what appears to be the kitchen, which is like icebox kind of kitchen.
Are we talking a freestanding like Franklin stove sort of thing?
Yes.
Heating stove, right?
Yes, a heating stove. Thank you. That's a good question. There's a door to your left and then an open stairway leading up also. So this room is quite large. It takes up most of the house. It's a great room for sure. And Franklin, because this is a thing that's super important to you, right? You notice that there is a framed photograph that sits on top of the stove.
I look at it.
Cool. You move a little bit closer. You see that it's...
I'm getting my Polaroid camera out, by the way. kind of like from the side of the backpack.
Oh, nice. It's a family photo, and it's yellowed with age. You see that the facial expression of the family members on it, you can tell that each of them seem distant to the other. Their expressions are very reserved. Maybe they had to hold this pose for a long time, you're not sure, but none of them are touching each other. It's just as if there were 5 different individuals who had to stand still and placed together.
The flash of the Polaroid flash illuminate the kitchen.
Yeah, you do the little flick thing. I love that. Nice.
Man.
And as you're wiggling it, Obed, the picture and the names are written like hand scrawled underneath each. It looks just like Obed's looking at you now. What do you do?
I kind of like shudder and like kind of move towards where more of the rest of the group are, and I'm kind of giving the picture like side eye kind of. I don't want to kind of turn my back on it exactly.
Man, I can't trust a place where nobody's stolen anything from it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's freaky. Sebastian, your stuff reading anything? And I kind of have pulled out my EMP detector.
Nice. Cool. Why don't you investigate a mystery? It feels like the right thing here.
That's not sharp.
And don't forget the alternate investigate a mystery questions that we have. Thanks to
All right,
Ben.
that's the thing.
It's one roll. You just have alternate questions. You can follow up on stuff.
Franklin's definitely like put his backpack down beside one of the tables and is spreading stuff out. Oh. Has the roll happened?
Yeah. So you turn on your device, and there's a little like squeak for a second, and then it dies down, and you're listening for the sounds of ghosts, Sebastian. You've got this headset on, right? And as you're straining to try to hear, you don't hear that squelchy sound that you would expect with any ghosts. And so for a moment, maybe this is a hoax, but then you hear over the little radio, the kids are in the house. Good. Keep a close watch. It's 2 different voices talking back and forth. Good. All right. Check camera 2. Good. Camera 3. Yeah, that is a good view.
It's the government, guys. They're watching in on us.
What?
They've got cameras.
You can also loud.
The government?
Meanwhile, I've changed my tactic a little bit, and I'm looking for like previous footprints from the 2 girls and maybe evidence of any stuff that they might have touched or left behind.
Awesome. So it feels like also this is the part where Monster of the Week frustrates me, but I still feel like our alternate investigative mystery gives us some possibilities here. So let's go ahead and have you roll the investigative mystery.
Okay.
Can Because Archie's there with her, can I roll
Can you
a
help?
help?
Yes, you certainly can. Roll plus cool. Your cool is a 1.
Whew.
Yeah, that's no help. You're no help at all, Tegan, because as Archie moves over to try to help Bailey, you get that stinging pain in your arm again, and you feel Layla's fear, and it's overwhelming. And go ahead and take one more harm AP, please. Did you realize that thing in her arm is some kind of giant needle that was shoved into her arm?
And I'll go, and I'm going to reach out and grab, since I was there with Sebastian, kind of grab him. And I think Archie dances back towards being right next to me.
Nice. Let's go ahead and hit that roll with no help, Bailey.
All right. Got an 8.
Good. All right. With an 8, you get one question from either list of questions.
Torn between does it refute or affirm something I know or what is being concealed here? I think what is being concealed is the stronger question.
Awesome. So you know what you're looking for. And you also know that there's enough dust in here that you should be able to pick up tracks. And you do, but it takes some serious effort. It's only a couple of footprints.
Mm-hmm.
And the amount of dust that's here, you should see all those footprints that are headed right into the office and then trail right towards the kitchen. 2 sets of shoes. You recognize maybe like the little Air Jordan symbol and one of the footprints from the Nike pumps.
Right. The jumping man.
Yes.
Thing.
And it's almost like the house is trying to hide it from you or something.
I grumble, but I also follow the footprints.
Okay. Cool. So
yeah, I might think aloud and be like, man, these should be so much clearer with all this dust around here.
So the room that they first headed to, where these footprints lead you towards, is what appears to be the smallest of the rooms down here. It's very Spartan looking. The walls are bare. It feels cramped in here. It's the kind of room that if you closed yourself in, people would forget about you. You'd be lost. Nothing you do would matter. You see that there is an ancient office chair and a large desk drawer that was once white. The drawer is locked. What do you do?
Does it look like they messed with the drawer at all?
You see a couple of telltale marks of someone who's not very skilled at picking locks, kind of fiddling with it. Yeah.
Does it look like they, well, if they hit gold, it would probably not still be locked. So they probably didn't get anything out of it. Yeah, I'll like mention it to the group. Say, all right, guys, do you want me to pick into this? This thing's like ancient, so it's probably real simple.
There might be answers in there.
Don't leave any fingerprints though.
By the way, while she's doing that, I'm like now
I'm
looking.
sure the system's already got you.
I think I'm going to check out that Polaroid I took because I don't think I checked it when it developed.
Nice.
It's,
When you look at the Polaroid of the family photo, all of their eyes are looking away from you. It gives you that odd feeling that there's something else they were looking at more important than you.
I think I want to read a scary situation.
Okay.
I think I'm like glance like while everyone's like looking at this desk, I'm like glancing behind myself and into the other rooms and like, you know, I feel a bit, nervous.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll sharp. And you get some questions if you do well. Sharp's a 1. Nice. An 8, you get a question. Use a hold, so you can use it later if you don't know, but you can totally ask it now if you got.
I can think while they're
Okay.
breaking into a thing.
So yeah, Bailey, you're going to use your old skills, or you whipping out the key?
I used my old skills.
Awesome. So let's go ahead and have you, I guess. I mean, I wish Pickpocket had a little bit more flexibility like this. But I guess you're just going to need to act under pressure.
Okay.
Failure. It's my failure with Monster of the Week is I always end up using act under pressure all the time. Right, Tyler? Give me notes later. On
First
how you
time you've used it tonight.
Okay.
Yeah, all right. We rolling this. Oh my god.
A 4. Awesome.
Couldn't have rolled worse. Mark my XP.
Nice. So you start to work at the lock, and you end up having to get to the point where you realize you could open this, but you're gonna have to kind of bust the drawer to do it. It's really your only choice. Like, it's just something about it. Maybe its tumblers are filed off from age.
Yeah, it's probably rusted shut or something.
Yeah. What do you do?
It's crowbar time.
Okay, you don't even have to roll for that. Pop it open, break the drawer, and inside you find a small leather-bound notebook, more like a journal, and it has written on it, Obed Cooper. It's written nice. The guy had good handwriting. It's one of those, like, the O has like a couple little marks and, Syntax extra calligraphy kind of things going on.
A couple of curly cues on it.
Totally, like extra stuff. He must have had a whole lot of time. Flipping through the yellow pages of the book, you catch that this is some kind of personal journal as he describes the sorrow of losing his family, talks about getting hold of some ancient texts to help his family become one again. Then there's a page where he says, beneath the earth they are kept. I need to get them out of there. And that is the last page with writing, and all the rest of the pages have been ripped out.
Great. And I'll like wave it around behind me with, the journal held open to the beneath the earth they are kept.
Then I'll follow up that with my question, which is, what's the best way to protect the victims?
Ooh. So you move forward, and Franklin, as part of this, right, you read that beneath the earth.
I mean,
if there's a cellar or some way to go underneath the house, maybe that's.
I mean, the cellar, right? I say not wanting to say that. I don't
Sebastian,
want to say we go
as Franklin's talking, you hear it. Oh, yeah, they have the book. Good. Good. They got the book. All right. We're gonna have to fix that drawer. That's fine. We'll just set it up later. Easy enough.
I think Sebastian is really looking in the corners of the ceiling and like looking for cameras. What was that, Franklin?
I think we should go in the cellar. I mean, beneath the earth, they're kept.
The cellar.
Don't get much plainer than that.
You want to go to the cellar?
Mhm.
It'll be a small room. So either a closet or something down there.
I think that's where they want us to go.
Oh.
Are you worried about that weird kid? You hear over the radio. Yeah, he seems like trouble. He might be onto something. Let's go radio silent. Keep observing, though.
What, are you picking something up?
I think they're on to me.
I take the headphones and it's like,
And they just went radio silence. They just went radio silence. Like
we'll keep an eye out for that.
Stare at Sebastian for a long time because, frankly, I think that Sebastian is up to his neck in his own bullshit, but also
he usually is.
he usually is. But like, would he do it right now when two kids could be almost dying? The answer is yeah, probably. So I'm not sure.
It's
I
fair.
assume Franklin, after the headset and Sebastian's freak out, are you gonna continue on to check out the kitchen, or do you guys want to maybe get him out of here? What do you want to do?
I mean,
If we're looking for small rooms, it's either going to be the cellar or probably upstairs.
I think for Franklin, his relationship with Sebastian, for him, it's a mix of some belief and also some riffing for him.
Which one is
Like,
this?
Yeah, and this is where the Franklin is unsure. So I think he feels like we need to check the cellar still, even though, but he is like a little bit kind of.
Keep your eyes open for the cameras.
Yeah, I do try and do that. I don't ignore what he's saying.
Cool.
If you
So I'm
spot
gonna
one, point it out.
They had one in this room. They have one somewhere. I can't see it yet.
I
They
know
saw
this.
they saw we have to book.
Well, it'll
Okay.
be the only glass without any dust on it. So
Yeah.
there's your friendly thief hint of the day.
With all this talk about government, I put my hand in my pocket and just click my tape recorder to record. Just to say recording, just to be.
Nice.
I want to catch stuff like this.
I've just dropped into chat a quick map of the ground floor in case people were having have problems with space and all that good stuff. But you step into the kitchen, you realize the kitchen and dining room are connected with a sliding door to separate them.
Where did you drop that? The map?
Oh, I dropped it into the Zoom chat. There's an Imgur link to a pic.
I was looking into.
Yeah,
Is
sorry.
there-
I
Yeah.
did not drop it in the keeper.
But would the stairs be underneath the stairs up? Like the stairs down? So
The stairs are up. The stairs on that picture are stairs up leading to the second story.
I think that little square in the cupboard is probably the
It's
Entry.
entirely
Oh, yeah.
possible that is a thing.
cellar.
So yeah, if
Yeah,
you
we'll shine a light around inside the kitchen.
yeah.
So on the wall, you see a portrait hanging crooked. It is a picture of Beachwood before there were a lot of houses here. It's just of a beautiful view from this hill. And it's a little fanciful because you can't quite see the beach from here. But you can see it's a portrait from at night, and you see that long strip of white that represents the moon, reflecting off of the ocean. But sure enough, you go around and you see that most of the china is in a cabinet. But a glance over to the dining room, you see that the table is set for 3 people. The dust on the dining table is pretty thick, as if the table is set like that for a long time. But underneath the stairs, you find that cupboard. And it's cramped in here. You don't see any, like the kids aren't here. You don't see Layla or Steph. But sure enough, you find a small little
hatch.
trapdoor hatch,
Yep.
something along those lines.
This is what we had before we had refrigeration.
Just make sure that everyone's got their walkies on channel 2. Never take one. Never take one.
So who opens the hatch? Mm-hmm. They look around on the Zoom.
Standing back slightly, looking to Bailey.
Yep, I'm gonna do it.
You're older than them, so it makes sense.
Yep.
You open the hatch.
Yeah, that's the reason.
You open the hatch inside the cupboard. You immediately feel cold. There's a draft leading downwards into a black pit that lies beneath this hatch. You can hear the small whistling of winds. See, I assume you shine flashlight. You see that there's a steep stairwell, a few feet long. Or sorry, a few feet across.
Right.
Maybe 10 feet long. A couple of meters. So maybe more than 10 feet, 15, 20. You take the stairs down, leaving them.
All right, guys, I'm going to check this out. Does anybody want to come with me?
At least take Archie. I'll be behind you.
Okay. I give Archie a scruff behind the ear. And then start picking my way down those stairs. Are they like
Awesome.
wood, soil?
They're wood. They creak heavily with age. In fact, as you move along, it's almost like the sound of cracking bones. Tegan, as you glance down after Bailey nervously from the cupboard, shine the flashlight across, and there's a moment when you shine across and you see that there's a person at the base of the stairs dressed in white surgical gowns looking up at you.
Down where they're headed.
Down where Bailey is walking, and Bailey doesn't seem to see them. What do you do?
Bailey, do you see that? And as I say that, I'm reaching out to see if I can. This is gonna be hard.
You're gonna do a thing?
Yes.
Oh, that sounds dangerous. I love it.
Yeah. So I gotta act under pressure first.
Yeah. Why don't you act under pressure?
Because I haven't rolled worth of shit all night, so I shouldn't. But this time I get a 7.
Ooh, nice. Yeah. So act under pressure on a 7 to 9. You can you get a worse outcome, hard choice, or price to pay.
Mm-hmm.
What is your hard choice? yeah, you can release pressure, but you're so terrified that you know that it's going to sweep up and it'll probably affect Bailey as well.
That if I connect, it's gonna just be like a wave coming back.
Yeah. Just so I'm clear, are you looking to use empath here?
Yeah,
or
I'm
you're-
empathic. Yeah.
You're looking to empath? Yeah. So to be clear, because I now realize what you're going to do. For some reason, I thought Big Whammy was coming, and I don't know why that was. It's not even a thing you can do. You're going to open a
Or just something
triangle
I can do.
connection. You think it? Oh, okay. Well, there you go. I thought that was what you were doing.
No,
So
no,
if
no.
you
I
do-
yeah.
If you set up empath, you're going to set up effectively a triangular connection. So whatever you feel from that, Bailey's going to feel from it.
All right. I think we've got
Or
it.
I'll let
yeah.
you choose. I'll let you choose Sebastian or Franklin if you'd rather them feel it.
Ooh. I think because I need support as I'm doing this, I reach out and grab Sebastian's hand.
Nice. And yeah, you all three of you are like cramped in around, and this cupboard is there, and Sebastian kind of nuzzle against, and you hear the china kind of clinking together, and
So now I got to roll empath.
yeah, let's have you go ahead and roll empath. Open up your brain to feel the emotions of something right there in front of you.
Now I have just grabbed hold of Sebastian. Sebastian, you might could help me by being of support him.
Well, is that because you just rolled a 6? Is that why you're worried about getting?
I haven't. No, that was my last roll. I haven't rolled yet.
Okay. It's all
I
good.
will.
No, I would let you guys do it after I've done it.
I will help out, but I'm not the coolest cat.
Sweet. Bailey, as you're creeping down, and Tegan said, "Hey, do you see that thing ahead of you?"
Cool enough.
You
Stop.
don't see anything. You stop. Archie starts growling, like something is imminent and about to attack, and he actually pads in front of you and starts barking.
And I'll like quietly as I can flick the safety off on my rifle and get it not up against me, but in position to do so quickly.
Okay.
I get it in front of me.
All right. So how does that help go?
I rolled a 7.
Oh, yay! So you give a +1 to Tegan as she rolls the empath roll plus
5.
weird.
Oh, wait, is there bonuses to that roll? No.
There
No.
is. So, oh,
Tyler
you
has
added
it.
those in. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the thing. Sweet.
Not a successful roll tonight.
Wait, but wouldn't this be a 7?
It would be a 6.
I added my modifiers this time very
Yeah,
foolishly.
You did.
and,
Yeah.
A +2. Yeah.
Oh, no.
mhm,
So
Yeah,
Tegan-
I rolled. I gave enough for +1.
and got caught up in my bullshit. I
Yes.
have just got an advance, folks.
That's exactly. I was just gonna say, don't forget, we're
Tegan.
experienced horses.
in the quiet, calm moments at night when no one else is around, what do you really think about Sebastian?
This is okay. She would be unbelievably embarrassed by this, but she thinks he's cute, and she doesn't understand what all this government stuff is, but she thinks he actually understands like all the craziness going on, and she's had so many horrible things. She sometimes thinks that he would be the only one that would understand her.
Yeah, Sebastian, that connection, you feel that, you understand that
Glad I don't have to answer the same question. Because
No, you don't, because you succeeded at your roll. You get drawn into the
but I only have a 7, so I was like, I mean, I knew what I was gonna say. It's just
Oh no. So you're feeling that, you're realizing that when you hear on the radio again, they're in the basement. Yeah, we know.
like
Huh?
tap 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 on Tegan's
Maybe.
shoulder. Like,
Maybe they'll find the girls and get out of here, and then we can reset everything.
like I think Sebastian will literally put his headphones on Tegan, like.
Cool. And then the headset, Tegan, you realize as he's doing this that you spoke to Sebastian. He knows. And you catch and then we'll reset everything.
I'll look up into directly into Sebastian's eyes. Right.
Who's right? I mean,
You guys, you hear Archie barking like crazy. Bailey, you still haven't seen anything. This cellar is not a proper cellar. This leads to a tunnel.
Oh, I'm now getting out my Ouija board, and I'm like awkwardly getting it out, and then holding it in front to Sebastian and the others, and like using the little thing to like point to is there a down?
Sure. You can
down.
spell out
like,
down.
Yeah, oh yeah, I go down, and then go yes, no, and I'm like looking around a bit towards cameras. If there's
I'll actually scan my flashlight across the walls and the floor. How big is the tunnel? Is it?
The first thing you notice about this tunnel is while the stairs are creaky, the tunnel itself is made out of shaped poured concrete. This is not something that was created in the 1920s at all.
Yeah. Because I remembered, I followed instructions when I was given comms information. I'll actually beep on my walkie-talkie on channel 2 and go, there's a tunnel down here. Like a cement tunnel.
Exnay on the Unalte.
I mean, and then I like the Ouija board, what was it? It was the Steph. It was,
Steph and Layla, yes.
Yeah, I'm like Steph. I'm and jab at the board, and then down,
Yes.
Have to go down.
Yeah.
I think Sebastian is still relaying that in Big Latin, Iwe after hey.
If you're going to do this, you have to be good at it.
Is Bailey already just going down and we're just bullshitting up here?
Eight way.
Okay,
I push past Sebastian.
Only one at a time on the stairs. Not cool.
Archie stops barking and he's coming up the stairs. He's bailing on you, Bailey. Oh, wait. That was weird. I didn't see that coming, but it happened.
Is Tegan okay?
Yay?
There's something down there. I saw it.
I start
One.
going backwards, back up the stairs, like one at a time.
Okay. And
Cautious.
then, yeah, and you do it cautiously. You hear them chattering over the radio. When the creak stops, there's that silence and that wind. And then Bailey, you hear this soft, like,
That's too fucking close. I'll bring my flashlight around again and I'll start going forward again.
ooh, nice. So
Is the figure still down there?
when you look back down again, Archie is licking your hand as you look over, and you don't see the figure. It must have moved.
You're a good boy. You're a good boy.
So Bailey, you reach the base of these stairs, and you see the long tunnel. And when you shine your light down, you see that, like those little black spots, because it's not just one straight tunnel. It evidently branches off a few different ways. What do you want to do?
If you're down here and you need help, call out.
Ooh, give me a. I guess this is the one part where calling it trick somebody is not the best way to go, but I think you're trying to manipulate somebody to talk to you. So let's have you roll plus charm.
All right, we doing this, dog.
You have a +1 on charm.
I do. Wow. The bot wants us dead tonight.
Awesome. So you call out, and the sound stops, like it just cuts short, and then one of those side passages, maybe 100 feet down, you see a shadow fall across the very ambient light here, and you see someone shamble in, and they start walking towards you. And the silhouette appears to have an axe. What do you do?
Whew. This is a lot for Bailey. Honestly, this has been a lot for Bailey for a minute. But I think she tries to do the stuff that she's been able to, like, cajole her dad into talking about here and there, right? And yeah, points the rifle at the figure and says, "Drop the weapon and step back."
Nice.
Like,
And it feels good, right? Like empowering, maybe a little bit.
yep. But then I've also gotta hope that they fucking listen, because I don't want to shoot somebody. As far as my understanding of what the hell is happening.
And so,
But if I have to shoot a ghost, like, do they care?
yeah, do they
But
even care? So you say, "Hey, don't drop that," and then the silhouette replies to you, and it echoes along the tunnel.
You can't stop me. You're nothing. You can't even make it out of middle school. How could you possibly pull that trigger?
you've never listened to any of the cops that lecture me. Triggers are way easier than middle school.
Nice. Are you gonna kick some ass?
Yeah.
All right. Roll plus tough.
She said, giving up her bonus. All right, come on, raw dice. Oh my god. Oh, there we go.
Wow, that is an 11. Nice. Nice.
Triggers are easier than middle school.
Sweet. This rifle goes off, and the report from it in this tunnel is deafening. And you got it dead red, and you go center mass, and that bullet shatters that silhouette. It cracks and falls apart, and your ears are ringing for the next few seconds.
Ah.
Tegan, Franklin, Sebastian, you all heard that gunshot. It is unmistakable. It is the loudest thing you've heard in a long, long time. And then in the brief quiet amid your ringing ears, you hear Steph. Help?
Steph. Is that Steph? It's Bailey. Ow, God.
And then
And I finally remembered to discharge the spit shot.
And your shoulder, right from when that rifle hit, it's a little sore already.
I've done it before, but this still sucks.
Yeah, it sucks. You were tense for it. It was a lot. But then you hear like a little hinge, some pop.
Ow. Light.
And when you shine the light, you see Steph step out, and she holds up her hands.
And like I move it out of her face.
And then Layla comes out, and she's holding her arm like this. But when you shine on it, you don't see any blood. You don't see anything. She's just holding her arm, cradling it.
Hey guys, we sorry, ow. We've got the squad. Let's get out of here.
Steph says, I don't want to go back up there. I don't want to go back up there. We tried to, and you notice this. Steph's not, like, her shoes missing. We got lost, and then there were people down here. There are people down here. And her voice is echoing, and she looks around frantically. We found this place. We just hid. And I don't know. But I can't find my way. We heard the ocean at one point, but.
Mm-hmm.
And then she just starts sobbing.
All right, guys, come here. Listen, we're gonna go up the stairs and through the main room of the house, and then out the front door and out to my van, okay? That's all we got to do. It's 3 steps.
Give me another charm roll here.
All right. Damn.
Do we just go flip mode with a 13 and 11 back to back after all those fails? That's pretty awesome. Steph, she nods, and Layla trusts you, so they'll follow you.
Okay. Come on. You guys go first. I'll stay behind. Tegan and Sebastian and Franklin are right up at the top of the stairs. So we've got you both ways.
And Steph she books it up this, like, well, one foot and the other coming down a little gingerly because she's worried about stepping on nails and stuff. And as soon as Steph books it up, even though you're holding a rifle, Layla kind of side hugs you with her good arm real
Mhm.
quick, and she whimpers, and then she heads up the stairs, and you're able to follow up after them.
Yep.
You found them.
And then, like, as soon as I get the foot on the top rung of the stairs, safety back on. Yeah, they were in some cabinet or something down there.
Let's get out of here.
And they're grimy, right? They've crawled around. You can see their old wet spots from when they evidently fell into some kind of puddle or something. There's scrapes and bruises. But Tegan, you don't see that giant needle or whatever shunt or whatever it was. You don't see it in Layla's arm at all. She's cradling it like it should be hurt, but she's just holding it.
I'm gonna reach out and touch her arm.
She like kind of whimpers back a little bit, worried about it, but she looks over to Bailey. Bailey nods, and so she lets you touch it. There's not even a wound. There's not even a scar. There's nothing.
Let's see. I'm either tempted by Rita Scary or going with my own the sensitive.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
I think you should go with sensitive.
That's what I'll go with. And I've raised my weird.
I know. Weird too. This is foolproof. Great plan.
Evil GM. All right. I'm rolling.
Come on.
I got a 6.
Oh my god!
Can I try to help?
Yes, you may.
All
but I
right.
would need to know how you're helping Tegan become sensitive to whatever's going on here.
Boy, the dice hate me today.
They really love you because they want you to get more advances.
I'm telling you, I haven't passed a 1.
It's pretty bad.
I think I'll just like put a hand on Tegan's shoulder and just say, we're almost through this. We're gonna figure this out. Just, being vanilla supportive. Because Tegan doesn't really get it. I mean, not Tegan. Bailey doesn't really get it, but he believes in Tegan. There we go. It's a 9.
Oof, that pushes you to a 7. So a 7 on sensitive, right? Because you just straight up sensitive, right?
Right. Gain a hazy impression of the current emotional state. I'm sorry, that's empath. Gain a hazy impression of something important.
You're sensitive to these weird happenings, and you realize a thing that's been at the base of your brain all along. There's no actual ghostly presence here. Sebastian's device never picked up a ghost. And after hearing the radio, you realize that somebody's messing with you guys. Or whoever comes into this place. Layla was never hurt. She just feared needles. You never saw a person at the base of the stairs, but you felt that fear, and Archie reacted to it. The hazy impression that Sebastian might be kind of right.
This is some sort of psychic cage. This is some sort of trap.
Then let's get out. Come on.
But they're gonna do it again.
Let's leave.
That-
Doesn't mean we're going to let it happen again. Because I believe you, Sebastian. Stare. Hopefully meaningful stare.
I believe you too, Sebastian. And I am looking around at this point to see if I see any of these cameras.
Working with Franklin and Sebastian as the Layla and Steph are making their way right the hell out that door. You see little holes in certain corners that if you were to stick a camera there, you could see the entire room.
I'm going to defy this fucking die roller. I'm going to stare one of those holes down
Uh-huh.
and say, stop messing with us kids. And I'm throwing a big whammy down the hole.
Nice. This'll go well.
Oh, God. Yeah, a big old backlash, I bet. Oh, all right. I'm rolling. A 6.
Really?
I would like to help.
Really?
I'm a terrible helper, but still.
I mean, honest to God, my rolls are really unbelievably horrible.
Yeah. Yes. How does Sebastian help? What does that look like?
I think he's just gonna like wait the radio frequencies.
Here's some like feedback on the radio at the same
Oh,
time.
nice. Totally. I'm into it. Go ahead and roll plus cool.
Yeah, not super cool, but yeah.
Ah! Oh no! Oh man.
That's how it's supposed to go. Yeah.
Oh, that's
Dangerous horses.
Yeah. There, you do the feedback for a little bit, and Tegan, you reach out through, and you feel that like that snap. Something happened. You think you connected, and then Sebastian, you hear over the radio. You caught the cameras. Activate the protocol. Go ahead and wipe them out. What do you do?
Run!
So Sebastian screams out, "Run!" Franklin is beating feet out of here. You guys are kicking up dust, coughing from it. Bailey, do you run as well?
Yeah.
Tegan?
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah. So you guys take off and you run down the path to dive into the van. And Bailey, as you're driving away from the house, you end up driving past 2 North Star R&D SUVs. North Star R&D is the company, the labs that Rolla came from.
You again.
And they're headed towards the house real fast right now. Steph and Layla are in the back, like holding each other and crying, and they are really, really wigged out. They haven't eaten in a day. They look like they've been hiding out, terrified. And every block that you guys get away, that tension, the feeling of creep and terror eases.
I think I felt, I did that, but there was still some degree of backlash. So I think I probably have like curled up next to Sebastian and am whimpering.
Yeah. And as you're whimpering, Tegan, you get the flash of someone sitting in a control room, slumped over, blood coming out of their ears and their nose. And that control room has several camera views that look like the house.
Bastion, I
Yeah,
think I heard someone.
I know. Me too. And I think Sebastian will like hug Tegan.
Do we end it there?
I think so. I think that my idea for where Bailey would go first is.
Oh, we could totally like epilogue a couple things if you want, but I think
yeah.
that's the
Sure.
closing
Yeah,
shot for
like-
that scene at least.
I need a quick bio break, but I will be right back.
Cool. Let's take like 6 minutes.
Sounds good.
And we're back. We're going to do a couple of quick epilogue bits before we wrap things up. And I know, Jen, you had an idea of what Bailey is going to do, so I'm really curious what that might be.
Well, I think our priority is probably first to get Layla and Steph back home. But first, we're going to the McDonald's drive-thru.
Okay.
Because they're starving. I haven't had dinner. I don't want to go straight to their house or my house. And this seems like just appropriate. And I don't want to have to get out of the car.
Fair. The Happy Meals toys are Justice League versions of the Bugs Bunny characters. Petunia Pig is Wonder Woman. Tasmanian Devil is Flash.
All right, so
Bugs
we
Bunny
have
is Superman, and of course Daffy Duck is Batman.
7 kids in here. Do we get 7 Happy Meals? I feel like the answer is yes.
I think the answer is yes.
Yeah.
The only one I wasn't sure about was Bailey, so
Cool. So you guys all end up eating in the van, right?
Yeah, we like park in the McDonald's parking lot like you do. And sodas, cheeseburgers, french fries.
And as you guys are eating, there's a bunch of trick-or-treaters that go into the McDonald's. There are kids who are walking along the sidewalks with big, bags of candy. It's gotten dark outside. That is hilarious, Sean, and I agree.
Yep.
And here you guys are eating McDonald's food. And Layla is just giggling, like a wash of relief comes over her from being out of this or surviving.
People can say what they want, but these cheeseburgers are awesome and I love their fries.
your fries are the best. Cheeseburgers is debatable, but the fries, no. And the sauce.
I think Steph says, I love the Szechuan sauce. It's great.
I still say though that like the fountain Coke that you get at Burger King is better than the fountain Coke that you get at McDonald's.
Uh-huh.
I'm
No.
just going to take that to my grave. I
No.
know I'm right,
You're right, but the fries.
but the fries are so good. Waiter, is McDonald's Pepsi?
No.
No.
Okay.
That's
No,
definitely
no, no.
Yeah, no,
We
no.
have Dr. Pepper.
Yeah.
I like Dr. Pepper, but
No, nobody shoots.
Here's my thing with Dr. Pepper. Like, I like the flavor profile, but if they pulled the sweetness back a little bit,
You might
I
actually like it, or
I think that I would like it better.
okay, yeah.
I think that it would make the flavor more, not necessarily adult, but real. It would be a bit more complex.
I like Dr. Pepper.
It's good. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm saying it's like
I am saying it's bad.
Yeah, see, Jan's against. I'm for.
Oh, Tegan likes it. I'm also saying, well, Tyler likes it too, but Tegan likes it.
I don't
Oh.
know how Sebastian feels about it, but I just know how I feel about
Yeah.
it.
And when it comes to Bailey's feelings about Dr. Pepper, she likes RC Cola better, but that's because it's cheaper.
It is. I think as everyone, you're jabbing around about Dr. Pepper for a little bit, and then there's that quiet that happens as kids are just like munching down. And in the aftermath of that meal, I think Steph is the one who asks, "So, how much trouble are we in?"
The government's on to us now.
I met with my parents.
You should
The
call.
government controls your parents.
I hand her a card.
Sebastian, hush.
You should call the police. They're looking for you.
Okay.
I think your parents are just going to be thrilled that you came home.
Oh, but I lied to them about staying with Layla. We were gonna. It was
I
gonna
think
be
they're
really.
going to forget about that because you came home.
Yeah, they're not going to care.
Maybe they'll yell at you a little bit, but
They were
And
scared.
Unless your parents were controlled by the government, that's what will happen.
Sebastian.
yeah. So which one of you is more ready to go home? You can get a warm shower. You can sleep in your own bed.
Layla raises her hand. Steph slowly raises her hand. I need a shower. Big time.
Yeah, I need a shower, and I was only in there for 10 minutes. God, I hate that place. Let's get you guys home. And I'll turn the engine over and kick the special place that I have to kick to get the engine to turn over when it's fussy.
Nice.
And then we drive off, get those girls dropped off.
Cool. Is there anything else you guys wanted to do in our wrap up of the mystery?
I have a little something.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, hit it.
As we're dropping me off, I suppose, and Sebastian hadn't been dropped off yet. As we get out of the car, I'm going to kind of pull Sebastian over and say, I think they're gonna come looking for me.
I think they're looking for all of us.
You won't let them take me, will you? I don't
We're
want to go back.
Of course not. Duh.
And I think when you say duh, like this big smile crosses my face, and I just reach around and just hug you. And as I move off, I say, thanks. And just out of nowhere, wasn't there before, but suddenly they're leaping out of the van is Archie. And as I run up towards the house, Archie turns back and gives you a very long look before he turns and trots back towards the house.
Good dog.
Nice. Yes, dad stare from Doggo. Cool. Anything else you guys want to do and wrap up?
No, I think
Sebastian
anything
was going
more
to
is
go for the
kinda-
same anyway.
Yeah.
Nice. That was good. Good stuff.
Don't want to bite on next session or Franklin or.
All right, let's do some quick end of session questions. Did you conclude the current mystery? Yes. Did you save someone from certain death or worse? Yes. Did you learn something new and important about the world?
Yes.
Did you learn something new and important about a member of the squad? Oh,
Yes.
yeah. Yeah, we did. So if you get 3 or 4 yeses, mark 2 XP. So I'm going to go ahead. I will take care of adding 2 XP to Franklin.
I have
Put
one more vignette.
All right, do it.
Just really brief. Bailey gets home. She's in her PJs. It looks like she showered. And she's in her very small bedroom in her trailer. Right. It's where, like, if she's seated in one direction, she can lay down across the room. And if she's seated in the other direction, she can kick her feet up against the opposite wall.
Yeah.
I say this from experience. That's how small some of the rooms can be.
I've been in a living room that, well, I mean, I'm tall, but I've been in a living room that's wide.
Damn.
Or
Yep. So you see Bailey, and she like reaches over and grabs her backpack and like pulls a notebook out, and she's like, and she puts her name up and the date and my worst fear. And then there's a pause, and then she restarts the essay. And you don't get to see what's on it, but she's clearly like rewriting it.
Nice. I dig it. That's great. Good. That was a nice post credit sequence there. We didn't work in Stan Lee, but everything else is perfect. Good stuff. All right. So let's. You guys want to do a quick round of stars and wishes? We may not be playing Monster Squad for a bit, so I do want to get some. If you have any wishes that would set us up for whenever we circle back around, and if we don't, I'm okay with that as well. We got lots of awesome characters out there. Who'd like to go first for wishes? We'll go first with wishes and end with stars.
I'll take it. Wishes. God, I wish that roller did not hate me tonight.
I hear you. I don't want to talk you out of it because I know that failing a lot can make a player not feel good. But you allowed me to introduce so much stuff that I wasn't sure how I could get there without being a dick. So thanks.
I leveled and got an extra point.
Yeah.
Off of tonight's fails. I mean, it hated me everywhere around. Which that hurts a little.
It does.
I love seeing. Yeah, I don't mind a fail, but boy,
experience is also so good.
Rarely have I seen such a bad streak.
That was a streak and a half, buddy.
It was rough. Other than that, wishes. I love these characters. I really do. So I would like to see Monster Squad somewhere again before we reach the end of the year.
Okay.
And I suppose a wish would kind of be, I feel like we don't investigate before we throw in as much. I would love a little of the like research and investigate bit, the learning more before we throw in. We always seem to wander in a little blind. So there's my wishes.
That's fair. All right, Jan or Jen, who's up for wishes?
Toot. What great timing. I'm gonna second Tyler and maybe reinforce the idea out. I wish that we had at least one more chance to play with these kids before the year is out.
Okay. Then that's all I need to hear. We'll do one more at least.
Because I love it. These stories always go really to very enjoyable places. This was a good Halloween episode, but this is wishes, so I gotta think about what I want, not what I got. I mean, I feel like maybe I'm stealing a little bit from Jan and Sebastian here, but time to throw some red meat. I want to see, we're seeing some dots connect, right, between different plots, and I want to see a whole constellation form here. That's my wishes.
Cool. That's good. Jan, what about you? What wishes did you have?
I didn't have a whole lot, but then when Tyler said like, "Oh, I have," then I was like, "Okay, yeah, now that's something now that it's been said, yeah, that's something that would be cool, especially because we've
more investigation before we die.
Because especially because we've got a few of the more investigation-y classes.
We do, and it's funny how in my observations, and I could be wrong. This could be my memory shifting because memory is lousy. But it seems like we go at the pace of the most reckless character. And the most reckless character is usually Franklin or Sebastian.
Yes.
So I agree that I think it would be cool to have a little bit more investigation lead-in time, so that we're not quite so flat-footed.
I mean, well, look at our rolls. Yeah, that's my other wish, I guess. Like, come on, die roller. Like, we're all experienced horses, but that was a lot on the 7.
I gotta pick a new thing. I gotta take an advance.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah,
because you got that into session stuff now.
I gotta look at the moves.
Well, while Jin's doing that, Jan, if you're done with wishes, do you want to do some stars?
I mean, this had a lot of good cabin in the wood feels. That was my main thing of like, ooh. But yeah, I still love all the characters, but just that for me was this session. Like the amount of Cabin of the Woods was like, yeah.
Good. Jin, you're next. Stars?
Stars. I thought there was some good spookiness here. I definitely was like, ooh, dang. Like, I loved how not emblematic, not of a template. Shoot. This was like the platonic form, right? Of the spooky haunted house that's a legend in the town kind of thing where the kids want to go make trouble in it. And I like the way that subversion that we saw in the latter half of the game played out. So that was very cool.
Cool.
I liked some of the performances. I liked the way Sebastian's ghost scanner panned out for him, and the very like, we're being monitored, it's the government was a little boy cried wolf for a minute because Sebastian always says that. And it damages his credibility
Just a little bit, yeah.
just a little bit. And I liked how keyed up and connected Tegan was with the story and the fear of it. So that was all very cool. Also, I loved everybody's dumb Halloween costume.
The Halloween costumes was just perfect.
When you let in with, think of your character's Halloween costume, I was like, yes, everybody else is also going to choose, and I can't wait to see what they do. So that was fun.
I'm glad that paid off. I had faith, and it definitely did. Thank you, Jen. Tyler, got any stars to throw out?
Yeah, I love the adventure, the mystery. A haunted house is hard, and this was super interesting because it was layered. There were a lot of kind of misdirects that popped in, and I'm like overwhelmingly interested in, like, we don't know what was here really, because it felt like there was supernatural, but then you get the idea maybe this is just a plant. This is just a honeypot for people to come in and be screwed with for whatever our evil corp is doing. And all of that just makes a great story. That was really solid. It makes me want to know so much more. Along with that, I think that of our Mauliverse, this is the grittiest, darkest, grimmest story. Our middle schoolers are the really scary story of the Mauliverse. I fear for them more than any other characters we have in the Mauliverse. And I think that's fascinating. I think these characters are deep and have really interesting stories to them, which I think is fun. I love watching Alex do Franklin. I think there's something, hearing the backstory and that him putting the fear of being overlooked and his drive to be out there doing something and to make, find things and make a name and be important because he's doing that. God, that was just so poignant. And then you had him, all the pictures looking away from him, and I thought that was sweet. That was really nice. Jan, again, I think I said when we were all fair, but thank you for leaning into where that connection was made. I think that's sweet. I think when you have a crew like this, having the little crushes, the people being close is something that'll happen. And so I thought that was really neat to see the two of them have that kind of happen. And then to echo Jen, the kind of boy cries wolf about the government. And when Jen, you started, and then I followed, well, we believe you. That hit. I mean, that hit so strong. It just felt nice. There's so much story to these 5 characters when Sabine is here.
Yeah.
They're really interesting people, because David is a very interesting character as well. So it's a hell of a game. I love seeing it. I really do.
Yes, I agree. I really enjoyed this game. Everybody leaning in and not like, you guys made this work. I really, really appreciate that. That was super fun. I quite enjoyed seeing some of the reactions. I'm always personally scared to run a horror game, but this was pretty fun, and you guys helped it to pay off. So I really appreciate that. Cool. So we will bring this to a close, and we'll be doing some more Hit Them All, Defend the Shops next week. I'm quite excited to jump back into that as well. because it's Mojoverse time, friends. Mojoverse time. Cool. Thank you all.